How does my perception transform towards teaching methods, education beliefs in a multicultural perspective? From my previous perspective, I thought teachers should keep distance from the students to some degree. I gained this idea from a teaching workshop in China when I was preparing to teach Chinese abroad in the US. After taking the relative teaching course, I realized that connecting to students and forming meaningful, caring relationships that tend to extend to more than the content of the classroom makes a massively huge difference in how students experience their schooling. Based on my educational lineage, my teachers did not choose to speak often in China. I understand that it is very difficult for students, even for teachers, to speak truthfully. Truth speaking is particularly difficult because we have been conditioned in our families, through the media, and in our schools to believe that we must dilute our personal truths in order to be accepted by others. In my case, as a graduate student, I dare not express my feelings too much in classroom. I still remember the time that one of my instructors asked me how I felt during the class break. She told me she could sense how tired I was. At that time, I did not speak truthfully. I responded, "I'm pretty good, just a little bit sleepy." It was surprising that I got an email from this instructor. I could sense how she cared about me and I felt warm and touched. It made me believe that she is trustworthy. A relationship truth between this instructor and me has been established. I hope my future student would choose to speak to me. Certainly, I would choose to speak to them. Classroom is a battle in China, just like Palmer says in his article. The conventional classroom is not a place of collaboration or a place of inquiry, but a place of competition. According to my previous study experience in China, it was unfortunately competition since middle school and it never ended until graduation from college. Every semester, teachers would rank students based on their scores of all subjects and they would reward publicly the top 10 students in each grade by making a poster. For me, I want to change this condition. Classroom is a place of celebration, a place of collaboration. In Mazzano's teacher self-rating sheet, there is a question which stands out. What do I typically do to celebrate success? I think in my future teaching, I would use many ways to celebrate success with students and include the whole class in the celebration. Teachers are knowledge dispensers. This is what I know from Chinese philosophy. It seems like we all go to school for answers instead of questions. Personally speaking, in my educational history, my purpose is to seek the answers and to get higher scores. That is why Hart stated that schools do not lack answers. They lack depth. Depth is associated more with asking good questions than with having all the answers. This reminds me of my preschool students who are learning Chinese with me, and the kids always ask me questions, and sometimes I don't know how to respond. It is so embarrassing. I met with this situation many times, but I do not know how to deal with it. Actually, it is truly helpful for students to know that teachers don't know everything and to hear an authority figure admit. Then you could say, I don't have the answer to that. Let's find out together. That makes you much reliable and makes the students more open when they find themselves in a similar moment of confusion. Moreover, trying to be a teacher like Abba Felix, do not give students answers while giving them free space to explore by themselves. Maybe sometimes we can give students some hints which can help them move forward. To be honest, I do not consider myself as an artist. Why? Even though I am an art education student, I am not confident to call myself artist. In China, we may have the stereotype of artists. They do not make much money and their life is artful but not real. Moreover, art students are not seen as artists in China because there is not included in art education system in China. As time goes by, I have taken several studio art courses. Certainly, I consider myself as a student artist because I've gotten this idea from art professors. It is really important to self-identify as an artist. Moreover, what is an artist? I like Amy Roop's ideas. Living in an art, we are artists of life. Honestly, before this course, I did not even know about the values for teachers. After taking this course, I've gotten several wonderful thoughts. Values are something that we have to judge what is good and bad in life generally and more specifically in education. I'm curious to know exactly what values of teachers. I think most teachers know the differences between good and bad. As we know, values significantly influence the teachers. It seems like there is always been a stereotype about administrators. Administrators are powerful, aren't they? We all know we need their support. What does support look like? How do you know they support you? How can you educate the administrators? In fact, we give too much power to the word administrator and our relationship to the word rather than the person, and this can inhibit how we interact with the person. Frankly, I don't know whether the public school systems in the United States fulfills the promise of equal educational opportunity. However, at least in China, I believe that most students have the equal opportunity to be educated. I have read an article titled How Kids Learn Resilience. The author asserts that low-income children can be harder to educate than those children from more comfortable backgrounds in the US. However, it is opposite in China. It is safe to say most low-income Chinese students are better behaved and hardworking than those students who come from better-off families. And usually teachers in China may pay more attention to educate better-off students who are badly behaved. It is really interesting that most schools in China set up the rewards to students for enrolling in order to recruit excellent students to enhance the reputation. Since the rewards are so attractive, most of the poor students in China are more hardworking. They believe that only through knowledge will they have a better, more successful future. However, according to Roland Field's reward system, it was to increase the time that the low-income students spend on math homework and to improve their scores on standardized math tests. Unfortunately, this incentive program had no effect. Why do these situations take place differently between China and America? It is really important to understand poverty. There is a book named A Framework of Understanding Poverty, describing what wealth looks like, what middle class looks like, and what poverty looks like. Something that was interesting from the reading was comparing a meal between the three types of socioeconomic levels, which was people from a wealthy family would place emphasis on a meal as to how it was presented. People from a middle-class family would place emphasis on how good the meal was. And people from poverty would ask, "Did you get enough to eat?" Furthermore, it also talks about how families who are from poverty tend to view education, and they see education as a threat to their family unit. Usually, the mother is at the head of the unit, and they see their children as poverty expected to contribute to the income of their family. So, if their children become educated, they fear that their children would abandon their family in the long run.